Alright guys, I know it's been a few days since I did a video, but honestly my phone mount broke and I just haven't replaced it yet. Today's Thursday, October 8th, 2020. Good old 2020. I'm gonna start rolling here. But we're gonna shoot this video on the road because this one has to do with the road. So, those of you that don't know, maybe you do, but I'm a truck driver. I spend 12 hours plus a day on the wheel of a truck. And to do that, I have to deal with traffic a lot. I'm not an over-the-road truck driver anymore. I did that, been there, done that, don't want to ever do it again. So, I do a lot of local driving in the Salt Lake Valley and Utah County, or as my neighbor likes to say, COVID County. We won't talk about COVID too much. Anyways, so I was going to have an early day today, and I thought, oh, that would be so nice. And of course, me, responsible me, reminds my boss, Matt. If you're listening to this, I'm sorry for calling you out. But we had a piece of equipment that needed to be moved from a job we did this morning. And so I decided that I would remind him and come down here and pick it up. So right now I'm in Provo. I'm on the edge of Provo / Orem. In fact, I can see the Provo sign where I'm sitting right now. But I had to come through. Many of you guys from Utah know the construction zone in Lehi, Utah, which is a 60-mile-an-hour zone. So it got me thinking about what I wanted to say and do for our next video. So, back to being a truck driver. When I went to school, got my CDL, they have this title for truck drivers. You're now a professional. Some of us don't think too highly of being called a professional, but in all honesty, you're the bigger vehicle on the road, and you have to be a professional. You have to be constantly vigilant of what's going on around you. You have to constantly be worried about cars cutting you off and what's happening a mile up the highway and what's going on behind you. And like me, I pull a trailer most of the day. So I drive a dump truck, but I also haul equipment. So I pull the trailer for most of the day. Unless I'm running asphalt or road base or whatever. So I observed coming down the freeway through Lehi, which is a complete disaster, by the way. Whoever designed and built that freeway, I'm talking about I-15, needs to be fired. Every bridge has a ski ramp just before the bridge. There's no flat part of that freeway at all. And if this video is going long enough, I'll show you. But, okay, back to professional. I keep getting off topic. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little excited about this topic. It's one that pisses me off to no avail. Like, I just cannot stand how people act when they're behind the wheel of a vehicle. Even a small vehicle. So the speed limit is 60 miles an hour. So today, I decided I was going to go about 55. It's pulling an empty trailer, and it's really rough. And so I slowed down because traffic was really heavy, and I was doing about 55. I had cars, trucks, moving vans, you name it, blowing by me, 80 plus miles an hour in a work zone where they're actively working that's 60 miles an hour. So my thought is why, as the professional truck driver, who, by the way, we control the flow of traffic. We're big enough that a few of us can get together and ride side by side, and we can literally control the flow of traffic. Granted, that pisses a lot of people off, but you know what? Maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need to start banding together as truck drivers. Sorry, my steering wheel's kind of in the way. And we need to start slowing down traffic. Because this 80, 90 miles an hour all the time just doesn't make sense to me. Why are people in such a hurry? Like right here, right now, I'm getting on the freeway. I don't actually have to merge. I'm not going to merge. I have a lane that I can be in for quite some time. But here I'm doing almost up to speed now, almost up to 70. And traffic is blowing by me. Like if I were to really have the need to get over right now, I couldn't. Because cars see a truck and they're not going 90 miles an hour, so they're going to stop us from moving around, being able to switch lanes, being able to get where we need to go. And I call it entitlement. Everybody's entitled to go faster, to not, not be slowed down. They want to do 90 miles an hour. The trucks are in the way. The other cars are in the way. I see these cars just whipping in and out of traffic constantly. Just to be able to maintain that speed of 80, 90 miles an hour. Granted, there is some people that get on the freeway and they're doing 55, 60. We just all kind of have to learn to deal with that. That's why you look ahead, you scan as far as your eyes can see, and you look at what traffic's doing ahead of you, and you adjust yourself accordingly. You adjust your speed, you maybe change lanes, which brings us to another topic. Why do people feel like they need to change lanes 7 or 8 times in 1 mile? Now I understand you're in a hurry, you're entitled, and you cannot be bothered or slowed down. So yeah, you gotta change lanes. But for people to whip in and out of the same lane 7 or 8 times in a mile, it just astounds me. It actually frustrates me more than anything, because if people would just stay in a lane, I don't care what lane, it could be the fast lane, it could be the slow lane, and it could be any other of the 6 lanes on the freeway. If you were to just stay in that lane, traffic would flow like truck up on the curb to my left, or I gotta put my trailer up on the curb to my right. And you can see all the marks from other trucks having to make that turn, which it's not really a truck-friendly area. But we were doing a pave job there today, and there's 2 ways in, and I had to set myself up to be able to exit, so I had to go through. But as a professional truck driver, I had 7 or 8 cars that were behind me in a 35-mile-an-hour zone with a 25-mile-an-hour roundabout, and I was going about 10 miles an hour because I value my job, for one. I value anybody's life that could be there on the sidewalk. It's in a residential area. And I value the tires that are on my trailer. That curb is all jagged and tore up from trucks hitting it. Well, if anybody has been around for longer than 10 minutes knows, rubber on concrete doesn't do anything. But a steel wheel on concrete will. So if you're hitting that curb at 25, 35 or faster, it's going to fold your tire over, maybe pop your tire, and you're going to bust that concrete and make it worse for the next guy that's got to go over that concrete. Granted, it's not ideal to ever run over concrete or a sidewalk or a curb. But in that instance, I didn't have a choice. Like I said, it was either put the left side of my truck on the center median, which is a much taller curb, or run over that curb on the right side, which is a much smaller curb. And I'm not hitting it with a steer tire, busting out, a steer tire, screwing up my alignment. So I made the professional choice, and I took my trailer empty over that curb at about 10, maybe a little bit more, maybe about 12 miles an hour. But as a professional truck driver, we have to make decisions like that. We have to make decisions about what's going on around us on the highway. What this car's doing ahead of us, what this car's doing beside us, what the guy behind us is doing. Is he right on my ass? Is he trying to get around me? Is this car that just darted over in front of me, is that car just going to stay there, or is he going to continue on to the next lane? We have to continuously be moving our eyes. And I can tell you, after a 12-hour day, which is about what I average, my eyes are so tired from constantly scanning. I mean, you can sit here and watch me look at my mirrors. I don't really have much going on behind me. Everybody's going faster in other lanes. But like right here, I got a dump truck beside me. I got cars coming up behind me, and they're coming down the left side of me. And I'm also coming into this construction zone here in Lehigh. It's 60 miles an hour. So I have made it a point today that I'm going to go through these construction zones, and normally I have the attitude, well, I'm just going to keep up with the flow of traffic. I don't want somebody slamming into the back of me, and I don't want people whipping around me and flipping me off and everything else. So I just go with the flow of the traffic. I'm not doing that shit no more. For one, this is really windy. I mean, they've got lanes narrowed down to about 9 feet wide, which is about a foot smaller than your normal lane. There's 5 lanes here, and there's lots of traffic. So if we all just slow down a little and work through this construction zone together, instead of making it the Indy 500, we wouldn't have near as many accidents life and death every day. And they gotta see some shit that I just don't want to see. I towed cars for a little while, and actually I shouldn't say a little while. Before I started driving truck, I towed cars, and I've towed cars off and on, chasing that dollar. Anyways, I've seen some pretty gory, nasty accidents, and I've been in a few pretty serious accidents myself. I wouldn't want to be the officer that has to respond to accident after accident after accident every single day and deal with people dying or losing limbs or being hurt so bad that they have to be extracted out of a car. I don't want that. I don't want that for myself. I know that you guys have a tough job, and I praise you all the time for it. This is Lehigh. This is the construction zone. It is literally, and there you go. There's a good example right there. Doing 55, she just blew by me, probably doing at least 80. And there was actually a highway patrolman right in front of me that just took an exit. Of course, as soon as these cars see a cop, they all slow down. And then as soon as that cop gets off the freeway, it's right back up to 80, 90 miles an hour. So, as a professional truck driver, I want you guys to start thinking about your actions on the road. What you can do to better improve the flow of traffic. I see all the time that right here we have 5 lanes of traffic. I've seen 4 trucks lined up across the road, all trying to race each other, leaving 1 lane for cars to get around, causing a big traffic jam. Which, like I said, maybe that's what we need to start doing. But sometimes it's the truck drivers that are causing the bigger problem. And maybe we just need to start being professionals. Treat cars as an obstacle. As not an obstacle, but as another human life going down the road. There's times who's bigger, who's boss. Maybe it's just easier to back off a little and let them go do their thing so you're not stressed out. Just a thought, guys. I know it's hard to do. I'm not asking you to perform a miracle. I'm just asking you to start acting like a professional again. Like you were taught to do. Like you were trained to do. Like those police think that you are. And the professional is not aggressive. The professional is not aggressive. And you guys are being very aggressive on the road. And we gotta stop it. Because I can tell you right now, if all of us truck drivers, and there's millions of us all over this country and all over this world, if we all started acting like professionals again, if we all started obeying the law, started watching out for each other, imagine what that would do. Everybody around us, it's like that chain reaction. It forces everybody around us to start doing the same. It forces traffic to slow down. Next time, like I said, you're sitting on my dash. I don't have a phone now. It sits in a good spot. And this video is kind of annoying with the steering wheel right there. But it's the best I could do, and I wanted to get another video out. I know it's been probably a week or better. I want to get another video out there.